Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and guess what guys? See this lime green packaging right here? Yes, Juvia's Place. Yes, bright ass green shadows. I am living my best life. I'm so excited to dive in and play with this today. I have obviously the Tribe palette right here, and then I have the 3 Tribe highlights. And basically today's video, we're just gonna sit down, we're gonna create an eye look, we're gonna be just chill. We're gonna just chill out and play with some shadows. And do you know why? Because originally, let me break this tea down for you. This was going to go in a palette roundup video where, you know, it was just like a quick run through, and I was like, no. Do you see these greens? Like, do you see this green and this orange? That deserves its own moment. That deserves me sitting down, playing with it, and blending it on my eyelids for 25 minutes for all of the world to see. So I'm very excited. We're going to dive into this. And what's really cool is that this is obviously today's video with the eyeshadow and the highlights, but then in tomorrow's video, you guys are going to see the rest of my face because I have a ton of new CoverGirl stuff that needs to go up, and I'm really excited to play with it. There's going to be a foundation review. There's going to be lipsticks and lip glosses and just all kinds of fun stuff from them. And I wanted to get all of these products on my face, but I didn't want to throw them all in one video just in case some people only want to see one or the other. So that will be coming tomorrow. But for today's video, I'm thinking we're going to scoot you guys in and we're just going to dive into this 9-pan sexy little beast from Juvia's Place because hello, look at these colors. Like, I need you right now. Stat. Okay guys, good and zoomed in, good and ready, good and fresh, good and close. Have some brows on. This is ColourPop Bangin' Brunette, which is like my fave. And I also have my yellow scrunchie in my hair, ready to go, fresh from the 80s, because I didn't want to dry my hair yet. So guys, I am going in today and priming my lid. This is the P. Louise base in the shade 0. And I actually chose this because I know how well the Juvia's Place shadows blend on top of like all of my other foundations and all my other ways that I would set and use on my eyelids. So I thought it would be kind of a fun way to mix it up a little bit, test it out on top of my P. Louise base. This is a very, very nice base if you like to not set your lids. As we all know, I typically prefer to set my eyelids. So I'm going to be branching out a little bit today, doing something a little different. I'm trying to get in the habit of exploring like different, I don't want to say new, but like different new techniques to me and how I normally do my eye makeup. So I like doing this. I'm just testing it out. I'm seeing if I can ever get used to the idea of not setting my lids, which at this point feels so insane to me, but we're just going to keep rolling. Now, I haven't dove into any of the specs on this palette, but you do get 9 shades in here. This is a $20 palette, and I purchased mine off of the Juvia's Place website. It's basically a beautiful mixture of just matte and shimmer shades, all very buoyant and very poppy and just very bright, beautiful shades. That's what they are the most known for. And the total size for net weight of the product in this palette is 1.14 ounces. And when you take and you divide that over 9 shades, each pan size is 0.166 ounces a piece. Is that not insane? Like, think about that in perspective. If you have a shadow that's like 0.04, which I think is a very good pan size, these are more than 3 times that pan size. Isn't that crazy? Like, you guys, you get so much product in this palette. I'm obsessed. And again, I have used Juvia's Place palettes before. The shades are super, super beautiful. They blend like a dream. So I'm just really excited to dive in and play with these colors because when I was going through and swatching the undertones of these, I was like, these are super unique. Like this almost fluorescent yellow up here. I'm like, who are you? What color, like what even is this color? It's like neon yellow meets green meets fluorescence meets like 80s, like I don't even know. So this whole first row right here really kind of like grabbed me in for a bunch of matte shades. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. But then I'm like, I kind of want something a little bit demure. I want something a little less like whatcha. So I think what I want to do today is go in, I want to work some of these brighter colors up into like a high crease moment, and then maybe do like a cut crease, maybe deepen it up on the outer. Similar technique to what I love to do, but I'm just more interested in playing around with the colors today because mainly for me, I'm so interested in the shades of this palette and just seeing how they look. Are they going to be flattering? Are they going to blend out? Because I think that a lot of the shades in here are very unique to what we're seeing right now. Like, yes, we're seeing blues and greens and we're starting to see a lot of color, but the undertones and the hues of these are just very, very different than anything I've seen. So I am very excited to dive in and yeah, let's just get started. I don't want to talk anymore, which is weird for me to say because like, girl, I talk a lot, so let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and kind of blend that out. You guys, this is another reason reason that I always set my base. My base, my primer, whatever it is up here always gets super duper creasy. So I always have to go in and like re-pat it out multiple times. But now that I have it good and smooth, we're going to grab the Morphe Y19 brush, slightly fluffy, nice and pointy. And I'm going to grab the shade Masai, which is that very bright yellow shade that I just kind of talked about for a second. And I'm going to start by lightly running this into this area, like high crease inner eye area, because I want to start a really beautiful fade. Wow, that color, super rich in pigment and super fast. Okay. Gee, I'm not upset about that at all. Yeah, I'm loving that shade. Next up, I'm going to grab the M441 by Morphe brush. And by the way, I did go ahead and like color switch all of these off, so I did remove any color, but some of them are a little bit stained. But I'm going to grab the shade Oramo. It's the orange right next to it in the palette here. And I'm going to start working that right next to that yellow shade. And I know it's not super exciting yet, but these colors are blending, honestly, like little dreams. They are so frackin' stunning. I love that. And I love, too, that these are building in such a way that I can actually build the color. Like, they're not going in with so much pigment that I can't manipulate it, if that makes sense. You can actually build it. You can have a light wash of orange, or you can really deepen it up and get like this nice, almost burnt bright orange, which is a beautiful combination. I love that. I'm going to dive back in real quick with that Y19 brush and that yellow shade, and I'm just going to run it right over where those two colors kind of merge together, just to give them one last little blended moment. Because again, I love it when colors come together and they just seamlessly transition. That's like my favorite, especially when I'm working with these two colors and I want it to be more of just like a, I don't want it to be really like bold and intense. I want this to be a nice kind of chill moment, and then we're actually going to dive in and start deepening it up from here. So that's a really nice like faded transition. I'm digging this. So thus far we have grabbed these two shades, and I want to grab the shade Tootsie, which is this bright green shade, and I want to take that on a Morphe M433 brush, and I want to very lightly kind of pack and start giving us a little bit of that green color on the outer portion of the eye right up near this orange, but I don't want to put down a ton of it because I don't want it to overtake. And this is definitely one of those colors, like, look at that. Oh, it is so rich. Like, if I put on too much of this, we could easily be looking like Kermit in no time. So I just want to take a little bit of it and kind of tuck it right down here onto this outer V. I don't want to take it too far up and get rid of the orange, but I don't want to leave it, you know, like all by itself down there, not blended either. So just want to very tightly give me some little circular motions and blend it in with the edges of that orange. Ooh, that's a pretty ass green. I really love that color. Wow. And just like I said with these other colors, I love that this green is like so buildable that you could leave it a wash or you can deepen it up. I really like that it's a malleable green. It's not like what you see is what you get. You can do a lot more with it when you can like build it or shear it out, which is exactly what that was. Now I am going to dive back in with the M441 brush that I had the orange on, and I'm going to deepen up this orange just a little bit right here, give it a little bit stronger of a presence in between these two really bright colors because I feel like it's getting lost a little bit. But wow, like look at how nicely that blends at the edges of the orange and the green. Like it doesn't turn this muddy, awful like shade of shit brown. It just looks really nice. And that's something that I've talked about a lot on my channel. I always look for the transition areas of shades to see how they blend, if they maintain like their own color or if they bleed together and look really like chalky and nasty and like make that nasty brown color. And especially with shades like this, it very easily could have turned muddy and disgusting, and it didn't, which is kind of awesome. You guys, that's really pretty. And I know that if some of you don't watch my channel, you're probably like, why is she so into this? These are not my colors. I never play with colors like this, and this is really beautiful. So I was really hesitant to even like pick up this palette because I'm like, girl, that's not me. That's not my aesthetic. And now I'm like, actually, excuse me, sir, I think it is. I think it is. Whew, pretty. Okay, what next? Yes, stay focused, Paige. So normally at this point I would go in and start deepening up the outer V, but I'm going to wait to deepen anything up until I go in and give myself a good old-fashioned cut crease. So I'm going to take some more of that P. Louise base, and I'm just going to be working off of the back of my hand here, just a little tiny dollop. And I am going to grab this flat BH number 7 brush. It's just a good old flat packer brush, and anything that you can get with a nice crisp line will work just fine. And I'm going to take this shade and I'm just going to go in here and start cutting out a little area of my lid. Nothing too crazy. I know I do cut creases all the time. All right, went ahead and got my eye good and cut out. Now, if you are relatively new here, there are two different ways that I will cut out my eyelids. I will either do it this way, where it's a little bit more narrow when it comes in, so it'll just kind of whoop, come straight down. There's also another way that I do it where it'll be a lot wider and it'll really open up my eyes. But for today, for the looks and the color that I'm playing with, I wanted to keep it nice and narrow, so we kind of came down a little bit tighter into that inner eye. And I say this because without, you know, it goes without saying that we all have different eyelids and whatnot, but I think that there's a lot to be said for the look you're going for and the colors, at least for me, the colors that I'm playing with play a big factor in how much I deepen this and where I put this color and how I do this and that. So I always like to kind of tell you guys why I cut it the way that I cut it, but just know that you can feel free to play around with this portion and put this here, cut this here, you know, bring it in wider, take it narrower, whatever it is based on your eyes and the way that you want the shadows to look on your eyes and just how you want your eyes to look when it's all said and done. Because girl, don't cut your eyes just the same way I did just because I did it, because that's not going to get you nowhere. So now it's time to go ahead and we're going to fill that up with some shadow. Yes, I'm excited. Okay, what color do I want to put on my lips? I actually think it would be really pretty to fill this in with these two shimmers right here. This is the shade Coral and the shade Curla, which are this shade right here and then this beautiful bright orange. These are so insanely reflective and stunning, and I think it would be so nice to pack those right where like it already is like a yellow shade and then an orange shade. So then we go in here and it's like bright and orange, you know what I mean? I think it would kind of like give a similar effect. No, just me? I don't know. Those are the shades I'm going to go in with, and we're just going to see how it works out. Now, a lot of times for this portion, I do have to go in with a glitter glue to make them stick. My eyelids are very inhospitable. I say this in every video, so I have to use a glitter glue 99% of the time just to get things to stick and adhere to my lids. If that's not you, you do not have to do this step. Obviously, that's fine. I'm going to try and apply them without any because I do have a tacky base, but a lot of times, even with a tacky base, it still does not work. So I'm going to take that same BH number 7 brush and I'm going to dive into the shade Coral, which is the lighter shade, and I'm just going to see if I can pack this on here. I'm going to re-pat out all my creases because girl, I have a lot, and then we're just going to take this and see how this is going to stick. And see, it looks okay, but it's not nearly as like poppy and reflective as I think it would be with a glitter glue. So hold on just a second and where the hell did I put my glitter glue? Hello? All right, I went ahead and I grabbed my Too Faced glitter glue right here, and I'm going to take just a little bit of this on my finger, and I am going to pop this over the entire area that I put down that concealer, and I'm just going in with a tiny, tiny little bit, just enough to give it a slightly tacky, gluey kind of feel, and that'll usually do everything I need it to do. Oh, yes, girl. 10 times better. You guys, look at the difference. Oh my gosh, it's so much better. So for me, this is what works, okay? And this is one of those things that I talk about all the time, but do what works best for your eyes. Just like cutting it in the shape that you prefer, put on products that you know will work best for your eyelids. I've talked about this 100 times, and I've had people that are like, girl, I could never get shimmer to stick to my lids. It would never work. I tried it like that and it works every time. Awesome. I've also had people that are like, that doesn't work for me. Then don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, this is all about experimenting and finding out what works the best for your actual eye shape. And then I like to go in here with this brush and just get myself nice and close to that little line right there, because that's the whole point of that cut crease, girl, is to give us that definition. Yes, 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 yes. But I don't know, I just love going in and telling you guys like what works for me every single time, because I feel like there are so many people out there that they only do it one way. And yes, one way works for so many people, and that's true, but then it's so discouraging when it doesn't work for you or for your eyelids or for your skin tone or whatever. And that's why I just love to go in and tell you guys all of this stuff that, yes, I say it all the time, but I'm always so hopeful that like that one person that can't figure out how to make it work for them, that they'll stumble upon my video and that it'll just help them feel better about their makeup. That's why I always repeat it and I say it in every video, because I think it's so important. Like, let me put it this way. I was one of those people that I could never, everybody takes their brush and they're like, oh, I'll spray it with some fixed blush, and then they apply it and it looks great. When I first got started with makeup, that was the only technique I saw, and it worked great for literally everyone but me. It has never worked for me. Wetting a shadow for me does literally nothing other than piss off my eyelids and all of my eyeshadow comes off. It does not work. And so I'm sitting here like I can't apply eyeshadow and there was nothing else, and I combed YouTube for it, and that's when I realized hello, just because it doesn't work for you, it doesn't mean you can't put these things on your eyelids. You just have to find your own way. And so if you guys are ever like, wow, you repeat yourself a lot, you say that a lot, yes, I do. And I'm so sorry for those of you that have to watch it over and over again, but just know that I do it for everyone that can't figure it out. Because guys, I'm telling you, it is the most frustrating feeling. And like, I know so many of us have been there where it's like, wow, I feel like a leper because I can't apply this. I can't make this work. It just must be me. Like, I'm just weird. And it's not just you. It's just because every eyelid is different. And I don't know. So anyways, okay, tangent is over. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just blending out the edges of that beautiful shimmer. That is a beautiful shade. And I'm going to grab the shade Curla now on my finger yet again. And I'm just going to apply that. Oh man, it's very sparingly. That is a very rich in pigment shade. Girl, that is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hello. Is this thing on? This is stunning. I'm going to end up totally covering up that green. Don't care, so pretty. And I love to just go in with the other light shade and blend back and forth on my fingers between these two colors until I feel like I have a beautiful seamless blend. Oh girl, that is pretty. This is by far my favorite way to do this and get the most seamless blend you've ever gotten in your life. Oh yes, 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 yes. Now, based on how light this color in there is, I'm obsessed with that, and I want to go in with that same BH7 brush that I cut the crease with, and I'm going to take a little bit of that shade and kind of run it along this cut crease and just brighten and define this area over here, and then let it kind of fade down to that orange shade. Ooh, that's pretty. Yes. This is actually one of my favorite ways to do a cut crease because I feel like it helps open up that whole lid and it gives it like this beautiful slide effect. Like it just takes this color and it just shoots it over the entire lid, which helps open it up and helps like make all the deeper colors look that much deeper and just everything that much brighter. I don't know. I love this. Okay, so to deepen this up, I'm gonna take a very risky, bold ass move. This is the shade Ashanti and it's this beautiful brown, like brown but meets puke green. Like girls taking a risk, and I'm picking this for a couple of reasons. Number one, when I swatched all the shades in this palette, this one was the only one that was kind of like, didn't swatch the best, kind of chalky, kind of patchy, and so I want to test it and see if it's a good shade, number one. Number two, I'm so intrigued with the undertone of this. It's almost like a cool brown, but again, that like pukey green kind of comes through, and I'm just like I'm nervous, but I also think it could be beautiful because with a puke green comes that orange undertone, and I'm like curious to see if it's going to be able to pull the green, pull the orange, and then still give me that beautiful well-rounded depth that like a deep brown gives. So I'm very interested, and I like the way that it looks next to that shimmer. Like I think that this could be beautiful. I don't know. Girl's a little apprehensive because I love where we're at right now, but like if I ruin it, I might cry. So I'm at a very fragile point in my world. So let's grab a brush, and I'm thinking we will start off with the Morphe M431. It's a very small pencil brush, and we're going to dip into that shade Ashanti, and we're going to pray a little bit. This is definitely one of those situations where more is less, and I want to just work it in very small amounts going in an upward direction just to make sure I like the tone, I like the undertone before I really commit. But this is actually really nice. Okay, wow. Now I've officially seen everything. I don't think I've ever seen a pukey, browny, green, orange undertone shade that I was so skeptical of that looked as beautiful as this one does. This is a beautiful color. Oh, wow, that's pretty. It's not applying patchy at all, which is the most bizarre thing. What is going on in my life? That is kind of really pretty. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to grab a little bit of the shade San, which is the matte blue, like matte teal in this palette, and I'm going in like tapping off as much as I can, and I'm just going to take that and very lightly add it and really deepen up this outer area. Wow. Okay, I'm really impressed with the undertones of all of these colors. Like from just that perspective alone, the undertones are all working so beautiful together. And I really like the balance of this nice deep like teal color with the balance across the lid up over here with that really bright yellow. Like that, everything is balancing really, really nicely. But then when I blend this teal out, I'm getting like also a really nice vibrant undertone. Now I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M433 brush real quick and just blend out the edge of that teal shade into the outskirts of the orange shade that we originally worked into the crease, just ever so lightly. And then I am going to go back in with a little bit more of the shade Curla, which is this bright orange shimmer, just because I don't want it to get lost in the middle here. So I'm just going to reapply some of that and kind of drag it lightly over that teal shade, just to kind of veil it and make sure everything looks nice and cohesive. Now I'm just going in and re-intensifying this orange shade up here, the matte orange shade, just to make sure that it is good and popping, because we don't want to lose that because that color is so pretty. So I'm just kind of going back in above the cut crease and dragging that color around just to make sure she's good and bright. Okay guys, so true story. I know that nothing changed on here, but I just had to run off of camera. I had to go do a bunch of stuff, change my battery, yada yada. And then while I was out, I was looking at this eye look, and I love where it's at right now. Like, I love the colors, how everything blended, all of that. But I really got to that place where I always get, where I'm like, oh, I just need some more sparkles. Like, I just have to have them. So you can definitely do this look similar to this, whatever, leave it here. That's totally fine. But y'all know, I need some glitter. I need some pizzazzliness in my life, and I want to run something along my cut crease, which I love doing. It's one of my favorite ways to do a cut crease. And so I went and grabbed the Urban Decay Starfire. This is their glitter trio, and I grabbed this one, which is Starfire, and it's a beautiful orange glitter, and I think I want to use this to trace over that liner. Like, I went through, I grabbed, hold on just a second, I'll even show you. I grabbed my entire Stila Glitter and Glow collection, like, bam, I grabbed all of these. I was looking through all my other liners. I was looking all over the place because what I was looking for is something that had like beautiful orange with like these nice flecks in it, and everything else that I kept swatching was like too bright, or it was too this, or it was like not, you know, it wasn't enough, or it was too chunky, and I knew exactly what I was looking for. I just couldn't find it. So I was really happy to finally find this. I love, 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 love these heavy metal liners from Urban Decay. They're so beautiful for detail work. So anyways, I'm going to take this, trace it along that inner V, and hopefully she turns out looking good, because guys, come on now. We need some glitter in our lives, okay? We need some glitter right now. Glitter, glitter, glitter. Yes, say it with me, glitter. Ooh, girl. Oh my God, you guys, that's perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. It's not too much, but it's just enough that it gives like a little, like just a little extra separation right in that cut crease. Oh girl, that's really pretty. Oh my God. I'm obsessed with the way that this turned out. And I love how everything is just like so lightly blended. I didn't want anything like in this area to be so deep and intense that it looked muddy, or that you couldn't still see like all the beautiful orangey undertones. And I am, oh my God, I'm obsessed with the way that that turned out. It's so light, but my mom saw it and she's called it kind of tropical. I'm like, that's a really good word, because these colors are so bright. Ooh, but like deep at the same time. Ooh, girl. Who are you? Who is the queen that uses these colors? Girl, not me. I love this though. Okay, anyways, you guys, let me go ahead. I'm going to do this other eye. I will be right back, and I'm going to give you some final thoughts on this palette and the highlights and all that good stuff. So hang tight, and I will be right back. Okay, you guys, so I went ahead, I finished up the rest of my face, and again, that video will be here tomorrow, so if you're wondering about the CoverGirl stuff, the lip stuff, the products on my face, any of that, be sure to wait around and check out tomorrow's video, or subscribe, and then it'll tell you that I put it up, because I'm going to go through a ton of stuff, a lot of information about that foundation, and I have some thoughts, so definitely be sure to check back for that. But as far as this video and this palette goes, you guys, I'm super impressed with the colors in here. These are so beautiful and so rich in pigment. I love, 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 love these. Now, I know that as I went through and I was doing my eye look, I was really hesitant to use them because I was like, oh, the undertones are weird, like this is different. And I was personally very apprehensive going into a palette that has undertones and hues that I'm like not so familiar with. But when I was going through and using these, girl, let me just tell you, these are so beautiful. And I went and I looked at my eye look in natural light, and I was like, damn, like these are so beautiful, so reflective. And then I went and I swatched a couple because I was doing my thumbnail stuff, and I was just like so blown away by the color, the pigmentation, the shimmer. And this shade, Kube, this one right here, it's like a shimmery blue. It is the shade on the top right there. It is so beautiful. Like these colors are so very unique. These are definitely artistry colors, not something you would wear like on the day-to-day. It's not going to be, you know, a travel palette. This isn't like a, oh, I reach for it every day palette. This is a $20. You're getting a lot of pop, a lot of vibrancy. And the one thing that I really love and respect about Juvia's Place so much is that they come out with products that truly will work on multiple skin tones. And I love like their packaging and how it's so clearly inspired by like the strong, bold, like African woman and those skin tones. And you can tell that they like pull from that aesthetic and the bright colors and the jewelry. Like, they emulate that part of this whole collection and everything they come out with so well. And I think it's just so cool that there's a brand that represents so nicely for that middle to deep skin tone, that like they can go and they can purchase shadows and they know that they will work on their skin tone. And I just love that there's a brand that can produce palettes and colors and pigments and hues and undertones that work so beautiful across such a large range. Like, I just love that. And so for that reason, I love this palette. I love the undertones. I love the inspiration. Everything about it really does draw me into this beautiful, bright, poppy, vampy color. And I know that Juvia's Place is known for being affordable. They're known for being, you know, great pan sizes. They're known because Nikki Tutorials loves them. Like, they're known for a lot of things, absolutely. But I think at the end of it, I want them to be known for their inclusivity and for their boldness and for their structure and for the strength that all of their stuff just pushes forward, and where you can tell they draw their inspiration from. It's truly stunning, and it's one of the things I love most about them. And it's affordable, which is great, but like, the other stuff for me is just so much more important. So anyways, for $20, I really do like this palette. Again, this isn't the type of palette you're going to get and be like, oh yeah, super wearable, but it is the type of palette that once you have it, you will be so impressed and you'll love that formulation. Now, I will say, if you are the type of person that will not reach for a bold look, that you don't have any interest in bold, don't even go near this palette, because there's nothing really that's wearable in this palette. Even the Coral shade right here, which is the one that I took, the bright shade right there, even that has a really like almost duochrome, like white gold to green kind of shift. It's a very light version of it, but it still has that fluorescent greeny kind of pop. And I would just hate for somebody to pick this up with one intention and then like that wouldn't be the case, you know? Now, along the same lines as what I was talking about with that palette and how inclusive it is, I do want to give a nod to their Tribe highlights. I did pick up all three of these as well. They have volume 1, which is the deepest color, volume 2, which is super beautiful, that middle tone range, and then volume 3, which is the lightest of all the three highlights. It is the one I am wearing on my face today. And I have to be honest, these are really beautiful, and I think that they represent, yet again, Juvia's Place so well for being that company that you can go to for every skin tone and every undertone, because I love that they didn't just release one of these, call it good, it's all fine and dandy. They put together a beautiful highlight, a beautiful pan, everything about this presentation wise. It does come with a little mirror. For $15, I think you get a very nice highlight that you know will work for your skin tone. You can kind of judge that, again, according to your own personal aesthetic, what you go for. I, of course, had to apply volume 3, which is the lightest, and this shade is actually a really beautiful poppy shade on my skin tone, which is pretty impressive, because a lot of times I find that when it comes to being super fair, a lot of times things just don't work on my skin tone. Even if it's this palest one or the lightest one or whatever, it usually still doesn't work and I have to lighten it up. This one I did not have to lighten. It went on very bright, which is beautiful. My only issue with these highlights is the same type of issue I have with like the Dose of Colors highlights. They're very thick and they feel very weighted. So when you swatch these versus swatching like an Hourglass powder, right? When you swatch an Hourglass, like those metallic strobe lighting powders, for example, it's my favorite highlight of all time. And when you swipe through those, they have a very thin, very refined feel, but like one swipe through and you get just like beautiful, stunning, very seamless highlight. And then when you buff it onto your cheeks, again, very seamless, very thin, refined, it immediately settles onto your skin. These do not have that. These are, again, that more like the highlighters when she first came out with those, or the Dose of Colors highlights, or even the highlights from Manny MUA in his new Lunar, the Lunar Holiday launch. Those, I know I haven't talked about those on here yet. I'm working on it. But it's the same kind of feel where they're a little bit thicker. They're not a bad highlight formula by any stretch of the imagination, but if you do have more texture in this area like I do, you will want to be careful of them, because they will have that tendency to kind of grab and accentuate your pores or accentuate any texture you have up here. And that thicker feeling isn't a bad thing. It's just you have to work with it different. And a lot of people don't have issues with them at all. They just blind it and it's good to go. Like, girl, hello. My highlight looks amazing. But if you do like that more thin, that more refined feel, these will not be for you. These are that more chunky. They almost feel like they have an oil base. They have that feel to them. So they are beautiful. The colors are stunning. I love the shade representation. It's just that if you do have texture or anything through here that you don't want to emphasize, or even if you're going for like a very muted, you don't want it to have a strong whoop-pow presence on your face, you might not like these. But again, the colors are great and I really did enjoy that aspect of them. Okay, you guys, that is it for this video. I hope that you loved it and that it was super helpful to you. And I honestly, I loved doing this eye look so much. It was so much fun. Now I'm just going to throw this in here at the end of the video. I love the eye look. I love how everything turned out. I don't think I really love this primer so much, you guys. When I don't set this, it like doesn't work on me. My eyelids and like everything about them, I've had to go in and try to glitter glue the shit out of my eyes to try and get shadow to stick to them. I don't know what the problem is. I'm assuming it's because I have like more oily eyelids, very terrainy eyelids. They don't like to stick with things. And this does have a lot of cones in it, like trimethicone, that sort of thing. And I think that that's what makes it so slippery, that it just doesn't stick down and stay on my eyelids. So the only thing that I would undo if I could would be this base, unfortunately. I'm going to keep working with this to see if it works nicely when I use it like set down. But for me, I would probably just stick with how I normally do it, whether that's the Eden Urban Decay primer or a concealer or something like that. But for me, that primer is like what did it. So I'm probably, unfortunately, going to have to take all of this makeup off before I actually get to wear it. So that's kind of a bummer. But all of that aside, guys, I really loved filming this video. Let me know down below if you have any thoughts, if there's anything you want to see, because as always, y'all know I go down there, I be looking. I don't always reply because girls got like 17 jobs going on up here, but like I love reading your comments and your suggestions, and I pull from everything you guys say, and I like to think that like that's what makes this channel so well-rounded. So let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you love this eye look, if you're feeling it, because I am. And also, don't forget to subscribe because A, you want to see tomorrow's CoverGirl video. Trust me, you want to see it. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned for that. And also, I do put up new videos Monday through Friday, so that is 5 videos a week. And girl, they are crazy. We are doing all kinds of stuff over here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They go up bright and early between 6 and 7 a.m. my time, which is Northern Michigan. So that's like between 3 and 4 out in California. Like, we got something for everyone. Going up nice and early, getting ready for work. We're doing the things. So you guys, let me know all of your thoughts again down below. Don't forget to, if you are curious, you want to see my looks before you see them on here, you can check me out on Instagram and on Twitter. Those are both linked down below. And I think that that's it, you guys. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Who's a sweaty beast? I am a sweaty beast. I'm seriously starting to sweat. It's not a good thing. Okay, guys, so I went ahead. I finished up the rest. Oh, I never checked the audio. Bitch, if that was not on, I would cry. Do not forget to check back. I'm sorry, what? Somebody skipped my CD, bitch. Back. Oh my God, how many people don't even know what that means? Wow, I'm old. Okay. Hello. Oh, my glasses are on. So we're going to be breaking this video down and apart and kind of playing with both. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I have a hair on my face and it's like really distracting me. You know what else I need stat would be my freaking eyelid primer. Where did I put that at? I don't know. But today I am going to prime and they are super, super beautiful, and I think it would look beautiful. What? Oh no, don't you fall. Girl, I'm about to use you. What are you doing? What are you trying to do? Sabotage me? Don't you sabotage me, girl. I got lots to do today.